Dayton as city leaders get ready for what could be the busiest week of the year.
I'm Mike Campbell at Main and First Street in downtown Dayton. The fencing for the restrictions on the NATO Village are already being put in place. We'll tell you the spots you can and can't go and what downtown workers are thinking.
Tornadoes wiped out entire communities south of Dayton.
It's so overwhelming. This is a pain like I can't describe.
We sent News Center 7 Storm Center 7 Chief Meteorologist Austin Cheney to the hardest hit areas.
And it's ugly and it's costly. People tell us their neighborhood is getting treated like a dumpster. New at 5, the new push to clean all this up.
Live, local, late breaking from the WHIO Broadcast Center in Dayton. This is News Center 7.
Well, the countdown is on. In just days, a large part of downtown Dayton will become a NATO village. For months, we've been preparing you for the NATO summit. It will put Dayton in the global spotlight. Good afternoon. I'm Cheryl McHenry.
And I'm Gabrielle Enright. James Brown is off. About 300.
Rain around the Miami Valley and the chance for storms tonight. Our Storm Center 7 team is going to talk about some of the big threats.
With Kettering Health dealing with a cybersecurity issue, we're looking into the impact on patients, including the ability of our local fire departments to take patients to Kettering Health's emergency rooms.
And he was shot and killed waiting for a city bus to take him to school. I'm frustrated. I'm heartbroken. Now RTA is responding to parents' concerns about how kids get to school.
Live, local, late breaking from the WHIO Broadcast Center in Dayton. This is News Center 7.
Rain off and on today, and at times it was really coming down. As you're looking live this afternoon at downtown Troy, we are tracking what's going on with Doppler 7 radar. You see a lot of those boxes, different colors that we're concerned about. But these storms this evening, possibly some of them severe. Hello, I'm James Brown.
I'm Cheryl McHenry. Let's get right to Storm Center 7 Chief Meteorologist Austin Cheney. Austin?
Yes, and this severe weather season.
The downtown Dayton are blocked off ahead of the big NATO summit.
I'm just trying to figure out what the heck is going on. It's kind of chaotic.
We have live Team 7 coverage guiding you through the changes.
And 3 deadly shootings in this part of the valley in a week. Today we talked with police and their ongoing battle with gun violence.
Plus, an SUV slammed into this at-home school and people were inside.
Not every day a car runs into your concert.
New at 5, the driver explained what led to this.
Live, local, late breaking from the WHIO Broadcast Center in Dayton. This is News Center 7.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Cheryl McHenry.
And I'm James Brown. Today is Celebration Day here at Channel 7. We are celebrating the best of the best, our beloved Cheryl McHenry. Today is her final broadcast here at WHIO, and throughout the next hour and a half, we're going to look back at Cheryl's accomplishments and career. Again, Jim Baldridge, he is an icon, and that woman is an icon herself, and her impact on our community. And on News Center 7 at 6, well, you're going to want to hear what Cheryl has to say as far as her parting words for you. We also have a lot of news to share with you today, so we're going to get to that as well. New here at 5, we are hours away from the start of the NATO Parliamentary Assembly in downtown Dayton. And for months, we have reported on the NATO summit and the global attention it is bringing to Dayton. And fencing is going up, and security is going to be tight as delegates show up. News Center 7's Mike Campbell is live downtown. Mike, you have what people need to know to get around downtown during the NATO summit.
Health officials are asking vaccine manufacturers for new clinical trials to track the outcomes. And actor George Wendt, who played the character Norm on the long-running television series Cheers, has died. He earned 6 consecutive Emmy nominations for the role. Wendt was one of only 3 actors to appear in all 275 episodes of Cheers, although that was not the original plan.
I was tied up to a different series. I was just going to do a guest shot where my single line, indeed my single word, was beer. I was to be Shelley Long's first customer. But then along the way, the show that I was tied up with got canceled, and so they offered me the regular role on Cheers.
And he said the word beer a lot. According to Wendt's family, the actor died peacefully in his sleep on Tuesday. And the Illinois house that Pope Leo XIV's family owned for 50 years is up for auction. However, the city of Dolton is now working to step in and preserve its history. Along with the Chicago Archdiocese, the plan is to turn the home into a historic site that is open to the public. At this point, the auction remains scheduled to open to bidders next month.
Live, local, late-breaking. From the WHIO Broadcast Center in Dayton, this is News Center 7.
I'm Cheryl McHenry. Pools have just closed in Ohio, gushing 100 million gallons of water from underneath the Great Miami River. We're scheduled to be on the ground here in Monroe for only about 2 hours. This city is ready for this Super Bowl. I'd like to say thanks for the memories. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Cheryl McHenry.
She's wonderful. Wonderful. We have a good next half hour. We're going to celebrate this young lady after 44 years. Look at that hair.
Well, I was younger. The face was younger.
Folks, this is her final broadcast. 20 minutes from now, she's going to share her final words with you and the Miami Valley. But we have a lot to get to, so we're going to do the serious stuff first, and then we're going to do the happy tears in just a few minutes. So hang on.
All right, if you insist, James. First, new developments in that cyber attack at Kettering Health. Just in the last 30 minutes, the health system said it is evaluating procedures on a case-by-case basis. Also, Kettering Health is contacting patients about rescheduling procedures. The health system's emergency rooms are starting to accept patients from local first responders again, but they're still having to send some of those ambulances to other hospitals. News Center 7's John Bedell spent part of his day in Clark County looking at how this is impacting local fire departments.
It's been a busy day and a half for EMS runs in Springfield.
We've had 127 calls in the last 32 hours.
And where Springfield Fire took some of those patients was impacted by the cyber attack at Kettering Health.
We had patients that would have typically have gone to Kettering that we took to Springfield Regional Hospital.
On Tuesday, the Greater Dayton Area Hospital Association told me Kettering Health was diverting medics from local fire departments. Gadaha told me our hospitals and local fire departments always use and share a real-time notification system to update their emergency department status.
This is just a little different because it is tied to one whole system.
Wednesday, Gadaha told me diversions have decreased, but some Kettering ERs still have limited capacity for certain procedures. Chief Jacob King told me Springfield Fire normally takes 80% of its patients to Springfield Regional Medical Center. They've been having to use that real-time notification system, the last day and a half especially, to know what to do with the patients they'd normally take to a Kettering facility.
About 20% of our call volume we transport to Kettering Health here in the city of Springfield. So we've just been working hand in hand with them to determine what patients will they be able to accept and which ones that we just transfer to Springfield Regional.
News Center 7's John Bedell joins us live in Springfield now. And John, you also reached out to Kettering Health today to ask about elective surgeries.
I did, Cheryl. We got that statement you referenced where in part Kettering said they're evaluating procedures on a case-by-case basis, but the health network did not answer my direct question. They did not give us a timetable for when elective surgeries might resume.
Tough situation. John Bedell reporting live. Thanks, John. This puts into perspective how massive this cyber attack is. News Center 7 mapped out all of Kettering Health's 7 hospitals, 6 emergency centers, and 7 urgent cares. Plus, Kettering Health has more than 200 medical group practices. Each one sees dozens of patients per day.
This afternoon, Springfield police talked about their 3rd deadly shooting in a week. We put together this map showing you each scene. The latest victim died on South Lowry Avenue yesterday. Now, a week ago today, we covered a deadly shooting on Buckeye Street. 12 hours later, somebody shot a 16-year-old and he died on South Limestone. Police told us they have made arrests in both of those shootings. Keep in mind, this year Springfield has had 7 homicides. That is more than all of last year. Also, the city of Springfield lost out on money to fight gun violence. The federal government canceled a community violence prevention grant, which would have been worth more than $1 million. It canceled hundreds of similar grants nationwide.
New at 6, we are hours away from the start of the NATO Parliamentary Assembly in downtown Dayton. For months, we've reported on the NATO summit and the global attention it will bring to Dayton. Security will be tight. The final bit of fencing went up, blocking parts of downtown Dayton for the next several days. News Center 7's Mike Campbell is live downtown. Mike, you have what people need to know to get around downtown during the NATO summit.
Well, that's right, and as you've been for the last 44 years, you couldn't be more correct, Cheryl, that all of this is in place at this point. In fact, NATO Village centers around the Schuster Center and 2 or 3 blocks in each direction, and this work crew behind me is just closing that final gap in fencing here at 3rd and Main Street. And of course, you can see barricades beyond that. Lots of things in place to be closely monitored and secured for delegate safety. But Dayton residents can still get to where they live and most of the spots where they work.
So it was like, wait a minute, I knew that it was going to happen, but I didn't think it was going to be this fast.
Donna Johnson works downtown, and Wednesday morning she already had to find different routes to avoid streets blocked by fences and barricades.
Well, you just might as well get adjusted to it because it's here, and that's the only thing you can do is adjust to it and respect the way that you have to come down here.
I'm just trying to figure out what the heck is going on. It's kind of chaotic.
Jasmine Farrell shops downtown a lot, but seeing her bus take a different route into the hub and then spotting all the security measures tells her it may be something to avoid the next few days.
And now I'm seeing that's what's about to go on. I didn't know that they were supposed to be down here tomorrow, but I knew they was coming down.
There are signs of the NATO assembly everywhere, not just in downtown, and yes, actual signs. Here on South Main Street, one sign lists the phone number for a NATO information hotline. Another sign warns of Main Street detours because of road closures. The bird's eye view gives you the real scope of this international event. Fences, barricades, and law enforcement visible everywhere flying up Main Street or flying around the Schuster Center and 2nd and 3rd Streets. It leaves just one thing left to say.
It's a very big deal.
Back live here, Dayton police estimated they would put up 14,000 feet of fencing and 6,000 feet of concrete barricades. It seemed like a high estimate at the time, but now you take a look and it's probably right on. Reporting live in downtown Dayton, Mike Campbell, News Center 7.
NATO was formed after World War II. NATO stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization, a group of countries that signed a self-defense pact as a way to focus on international security and protect democracy. 32 countries across North America and Europe make up NATO. So why Dayton? Well, 30 years ago, NATO leaders signed the Dayton Peace Accords at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, ending the Bosnian War. The upcoming spring session commemorates the 30th anniversary of that. News Center 7 will have complete NATO coverage all week. We'll broadcast live from downtown Dayton here on News Center 7 at 5 and at 6. We will also have reporters around the city showing you what's happening during the summit.
And look here, and you can see that SUV smashed into a classroom in Montgomery County today. This was at School Solutions on Taylorsville Road in Huber Heights. Students go here for tutoring. People were inside the building when this happened. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. The driver told police she accidentally hit the gas instead of the brakes.
Just a small amount of fentanyl can kill, and there's a unique tool now in our community to fight the deadly drug.
And it's like something out of a movie almost. His classmates here in Ohio thought he was 17 years old. But no, he's actually in his mid-20s.
Is this tiny amount of fentanyl to kill somebody. That is 2 milligrams next to a penny. But Narcan can reverse the effects of fentanyl overdose and potentially save lives. News Center 7's Mason Fletcher is in Greene County showing you the spots where people can find Narcan in an emergency.
It may not seem like it, but Greene County Public Health told me drug addiction is all over the Miami Valley.
Like I said, it touches everyone's lives.
The department is fighting against it, in part by providing free Narcan for its residents.
We have 12 naloxone kiosks around Greene County.
They look like newspaper stands and are mostly found inside business buildings.
What happens when these businesses close?
Casey Warren told me they came up with their own answer. A public cabinet with Narcan inside, available 24 hours a day. This is the first cabinet, placed out by Abiding Christ Church near Fairborn, and it's pretty easy to use. You undo these clips, swing open the door, and grab what you need. Greene County Public Health tells me it's all about making things like this more accessible for their residents.
We actually still have 3 more that we're looking to place.
Public Health has campaigned Narcan accessibility since it became a non-prescription product in 2023. They gave out more than 5,000 kits that year and nearly 4,000 in 2024. Warren told me she's seeing it pay off.
We had a 69% decrease in overdose tests from 2023 to 2024. And so I think obviously Narcan has a big role in that.
In Greene County, Mason Fletcher, News Center 7.
Narcan does not work on a deadly fentanyl mix we've covered for years. This involves fentanyl and xylazine, which is an animal tranquilizer. Investigators call it the zombie drug because Narcan does not work. The Drug Enforcement Administration told us xylazine causes wounds which can lead to amputation.
And you're here at 6 weeks after people voted. We now have a tally in the Huber Heights school levy. It failed by 3 votes. This means there will be a recount in 2 weeks.
This is not your typical store. Everything you see here is free. New at 6, the inspiration behind this free store.
And after 44 years here at Channel 7, this is Cheryl's last newscast. And she has some final thoughts for you coming up in just about 15 minutes.
Upset stomach?
Hey, do you dread scrubbing away with disabilities and on a fixed income get some basic necessities? This is at the Lakewood Apartments in Dayton. That is where News Center 7's Taylor Robertson joins us live. And Taylor, workers notice some of the people who live there, they're struggling to take care of themselves.
They did, Cheryl, and it's a pretty big complex. You can see there are over 400 units in this building. The service coordinator told me most everyone that lives here is living on a tight budget. So that's why she started the free store bank, because she noticed more and more residents coming to her looking for basic needs.
Especially the seniors, they don't know where to go. And so me being here, it's easier for them to come to me and I be that middleman and I just go ahead and, get what they need for them.
Sanaya Jeanette has only been at Lakewood since October and noticed a need for a free store bank almost immediately. She says the most common item her senior residents need are canes, walkers, and clothes. So Jeanette started collecting items and putting them in a room at the complex where residents could swing by and grab what they are looking for. From clothes to wheelchairs to food to pots and pans, it's anything that can help people that live there have more independence.
There may be times where someone may be out for a week or two of food, and so that's what, the free store bank, it won't be a lot, but it'll be enough to get you through to the next food bank.
Anyone that has extra items they don't need can drop them off at the main lobby here at the complex. And Jeanette told me that they're really accepting any kind of donation. We're live in Dayton. Taylor Robertson, News Center 7.
All right, Taylor, now to the 24-year-old who pretended to be 17 so he could go to high school here in Ohio. This is new body camera video of police arresting Anthony Sierra. He is from Venezuela and is in the U.S. illegally. Investigators said he used a fake name to enroll at the school in the Toledo area. He even played on the school's soccer team. Sierra said this in court.
A lot of those accusations are false. I really haven't heard anybody.
Police worked with Border Control to find out Sierra's real age.
We had some rain showers today, and unfortunately, the rain train is going to roll on for the next few days. Let's break down each of those opportunities for rain in 30 seconds.
This is a Toyota Grand Highlander.
Toyota took the best-selling Highlander and made it bigger, more powerful, and more fuel efficient.
With your choice of 3 different powertrains, with a driving range of nearly 600 miles on a tank of gas, and you've gotta love the 12.3-inch touchscreen.
The big news is right back here, with over 20 cubic feet of cargo space.
Behind a full-size third row.
Now get 6.75 APR financing on any new Highlander or Grand Highlander.
Toyota, let's go places.
If you're heading out and about this evening, I'd take an umbrella just in case, but it's not a total washout. Let's take you out to live Doppler 7 radar. Temperatures right now in the upper 50s to around 60 for most of us. In fact, here in Dayton, we've been hanging at 60 degrees during our whole 90 minutes of news here this evening. Checking in at 57 right now in Bell Fountain, 54 there in Richmond. And you notice it's just a scattering of showers, not a total washout there by any means. And we'll go ahead and put live Doppler 7 radar into motion here for you to see that the motion of these showers moving generally west to east. Salina, you're catching a bit of those showers now. Also another batch moving into dark and rained off counties this evening. Unfortunately, the rain chances, we can't totally get rid of them just yet. Here's a look at Futurecast tomorrow morning. Stepping out the door, some scattered showers out and about. As we get into the afternoon, the coverage will break up just a little bit, but unfortunately we can't get rid of the rain chances yet. We get you into Friday, we may still have a passing shower or two there. Saturday is going to be the next opportunity for a really dry day across the Miami Valley. Sunday we bring in another chance for showers there, and that will continue into Monday as well. Here's my Storm Center 7-day forecast. 58 for your high tomorrow, 62 for Friday. Temperature staying below average even through the entire holiday weekend.
All right, Nick, thank you much. And after 44 years, this young lady has some final words for the Miami Valley. That's coming up in just a couple minutes.
Is that stomach? I feel.
Hey, do you dread scrubbing away?
As we welcome you back, the grand finale.
I know. I told James when I got out here at 5:30 that this was going to be a cry in the car day. I was going to try not to do it here, but we both are getting a little choked up, just thinking about all the time that we've spent together.
Yeah, we've spent a lot together.
I know.
It's been wonderful with you guys, with everybody, both those you see in front of the camera, those behind the camera. Hard to believe this is it.
We've had some great times, and again, I always said probably the best way that people would really have a lot of fun watching the news is if we had cameras in here during commercials, because there's some crazy stuff that goes on, and she's the instigator about 75% of the time.
Well,
I would agree with that.
But I'm
I would
telling
agree
you,
with that.
we have been blessed, and I've said this over and over and over again. I'm grateful. God has blessed me with some of the best co-anchors in my entire life, 30 plus years, and I got to sit next to you for 15. And I get to sit next to Gabrielle for hopefully the next 50.
Yeah, I'd say you guys are going to do it. Well, it's been an honor and a pleasure for me to be with both of you. And like I said, our entire news team, our weather people, our Storm Center 7 team, reporters, everybody has just been so wonderful. So
I have to say, the one thing that I wish people knew about you is just how funny you are. You're funny. No. You're funny. You remember, your memory, Mike Hartsock touched on it, I think, during the special. You remember every date and time. It's a gift, and you just you wrap your arms around everyone. I mean, it's impossible to talk about how much we love you in just a couple sentences.
Well, thank you. I feel the love, and I said it back.
And I've said this before, and one of our coworkers said it a couple months ago. You are on that Mount Rushmore of WHIO.
That's kind of scary.
She's the last of her generation, and she outlived and outworked general managers, news directors, and so forth.
I chased them all out. Apparently, I'm grateful for both of you.
The floor is yours.
So here we go. If you tuned in to see a grown woman cry, you've come to the right place. This is my final newscast at WHIO after nearly 44 years, more than 20,000 newscasts, and thousands of stories. I heard someone say, there's never a good time to leave something you love, but there is a right time. And I've decided the right time for me is now. I gotta tell you, it's still very hard to leave this place, this career, and these people. Thought about pulling a Tom Brady and saying, never mind, I'll be back for another year. But it wouldn't matter. Leaving this place would always be difficult. I got to fulfill a dream, to work at WHIO. Never did I imagine when I started way back in 1981, I'd still be here until 2025. I didn't know I'd still be alive. Never did I think I'd get to sit in this chair where Don Wayne and Jim Baldridge sat and anchor the evening news for the last 34 years and to have the experiences this work has provided me. I'm so grateful to God for everything and everyone, for my family, many of whom are here in the studio right now. Those who are not are watching. I feel your love, Christina. I'm grateful for my colleagues who are also my dear friends. I'm going to name a few. The incomparable James Brown, my girls Gabrielle Enright and Letitia Perry, for a fine group of reporters led by our outstanding veterans Mike Campbell and John Bedell, and for Chief Meteorologist Austin Cheney and his dedicated Storm Center 7 team. I thank all of my co-workers, both in front of the camera and behind the scenes, because it takes all of us to bring you the latest in news and weather every day. I especially want to thank you, our viewers. I appreciate you and what you do every day. Law enforcement, military, firefighters, EMS, teachers, healthcare workers, social workers, federal workers, and all the parents who work hard to raise your kids. And for our caregivers, you have the hardest job of all. Thank you for your messages, your positive thoughts, your cards, some I haven't even opened yet, and your gifts. You've already given me the greatest gift of all, your trust. And if you're still inclined to send me something, a card is more than sufficient. Don't spend money on me. I prefer you make a donation to the Red Cross for the Kentucky tornado victims. You can do that through our website. Or how about the food bank, or Dayton Children's Hospital, or any worthwhile cause you hold dear. I am so fortunate to have had this lengthy, rewarding, wonderful career at this legacy station and to be able to retire on my own terms with my health and with my loving, supportive family and friends around me. I will forever be grateful for all of this and for all of you. Thank you for everything, and may God bless you and keep you safe. I love you.
For a limited time, get a crispy